Aw, yeah, what's happening, everyone? JayShockblast here, and check it out. We're back with some more Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and we are going to be doing some Ultimate difficulty in this stream. Gonna say what's up to everybody that's here. Muhammad, we got Reese Connor, Joanna Sanchez, Arrest SM Froggy Boy, even though what he said is rude. What else we got? Rosendo, Hunter Collard, Silas Stucker, Insane Ben. I don't know if I said your name yet. Reese, Brendan, Konzad, all that kind of stuff. So we are gonna get something started. I know that it's happening in King of Mare. What's happening in Apex Predator. I know I'm gonna have Johnny Rocker and let's see, about to launch. I'm gonna have Johnny Rocker join, and we're gonna have probably Remy Lavelle is gonna join. So let's go ahead and do co-op online. I'm gonna do ultimate mode. Been really struggling with Lego Marvel Avengers. Really, I've got lots of videos up for that. What time is it where I live? It is 3 o'clock. So ultimate Kree ship. Okay. I'm gonna have Deadpool to start. Oh, you're getting that platinum? Yeah, man, I got that platinum myself. Just launched it. So, how's everybody doing today? We're getting things going. We got Joseph in here. With his level 87 Thanos. How is... I don't know who this is. I'm trying to get 2 specific people in. I really should just make a password. Room details. Sorry, I have 2 people that are trying to join me. Alright, there's Johnny Rocker. And what's happening, Jay Bishop? What's happening, Dark Marvel? The Red Brick Trophy really confused me, to be honest. I didn't know if I was supposed to put them all on it. Yes, all on at the same time. And we're just waiting for... Sorry, I just hit my microphone. Oh man, what a day. I had to book a vacation, and it was interesting. So, I know Remy said he was on a phone call, so... he might not be able to join right away. So yeah, we're gonna get this thing going. It's 8 o'clock. What's happening? 11 o'clock where you live. So you're like 8 hours ahead of me. Interesting. I think I might have turned on the first one. You just have to turn them on. What's happening, Glock A? So the Giants ballpark is amazing. Yeah. Do the glitch. Yeah, I've done the glitch. So I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and I don't know. We'll wait until Remy joins in, and we'll figure out what we're gonna do then. Excuse me, I burped. Oh, you were just joining. Ah, we'll get. All right, Remy, we'll get you to a pad and let you get in. I'm sorry. I was trying to be patient, but I'm just, you know. Look at that, right in front of us. We should be able to pick you up now. Hold on.
Seriously? No welcoming committee?
All right, you should be able to join now, I think, right? Room details. Back. Right? I think he should be able to join. Or do I have to leave and come back? Because that would suck. Just letting you join from here? Okay. This is stupid. This is why I hate the Nintendo Switch and like these rooms. Hold on, let's go to menu. Options. No, that's not what I want to do. Alright. Let me just leave the room and I'll start a new one. Sorry, everybody. Alright, online. Create. Okay. Sorry. Alright, so we just started over. We should be able to get the fourth one. Sorry. The rooms are lame. Trying to get a fourth. Alright, so we just gotta get Johnny back in here. Should be able to rejoin. Alright, sorry about that, guys. What's happening, Brandon Barnes? It's happening, Ghost 27. What's my dream Lego game that doesn't exist? Lego Spaceballs, of course. Sorry, we're just gotta get Johnny back in here. It's always something. Up. Wonder if he knows to ready up. Random rain and thunderstorm. There it is. Perfect. I think he just had to switch his character. That's what it was. What's happening, Archer? What's happening, Chris? Yeah, Chris, you can get in whenever I got an empty spot. I think I might have turned on Red Brick already. I don't think it matters. I think you just turn them all on at once. I tried fighting Ronan last night on Ultimate by yourself. It did not go well. Ooh. Alright, here we go. Alright, for reals this time. We just gotta make sure that we get the, what do you call them? The rigs, because we need the rigs.
I have a terrible feeling we are about
Is Archer just lurking?
Hold on.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Just popped up on my map.
Hey man, how you doing?
Living the dream, living the
Whatever
dream.
they are, they ain't far away. Let's go find out.
You are live, so we're gonna keep it PG. Not that I really have to tell you that much.
Jay, dude, I gotta ask, what are your thoughts on Endgame?
What are my thoughts on Endgame? I thought it was really good. I liked it a lot. There are aspects of it. I think in a lot of ways Infinity War is better. But I did like it a lot. You know, I mean, I think because of like the big moments that it had, it's the best of them all.
I feel like Infinity War definitely had better action, but that's just because there was more of it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think they're both really great and in their own way, just extended forms of the same movie. But yeah, man, whoa. I really thought it was good. I mean, it didn't all go the way I would want it to go. I mean, I really wish that, you know, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. would just stick it out and stay with it, but I mean, not my choice to make.
Is there anyone else on here?
Just me and you right now. I've been turning it on lately because people have been able to join, and because Nintendo Switch is so god awful. There's no real accurate voice chat system.
Oh, we're on the Ultimate Alliance video. I see.
Yeah. You would beg for Lego Avatar: The Last Airbender. Interesting. I don't know anything about that franchise. No problem, Brandon. We'll see you later. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I mean, it's definitely up there. It's like the big moments it does have are really, really freaking good. There was some cheesiness to the going back in time.
The thing I liked about it was, the thing about me is, you know, I really tend to like the superhero movies that are kind of more, I guess, more dramatic. That's what I like about The Dark Knight, Logan, you know, Captain America, Civil War. But I also like the moments where it felt like, you know, like it was from a comic book, you know, and I felt, I think that the cheesiness, while I guess it's kind of, like I saw it twice in theaters. First time around, I didn't love it, but then I saw it the second time, and I guess the second time around I was able to appreciate what I didn't like about it before. You know, like the first time around I didn't really like Thor's art, but then after seeing it again, I actually kind of appreciated what they did. So, does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Thor was dealing with a lot of PTSD, and I do really like the way they handled that, because it's a real thing, you know, and it made him feel real, you know.
Idiots.
Yeah, and you know, like he was just going through a hard time, and I think that they did a good job making him relatable, because you know he was depressed because, you know, what he
felt
did,
responsible.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when he cut Thanos' head off, like that was like whoa, that was one of my favorite moments in all the MCU. Like, even if it like sort of was the wrong thing to do and sort of didn't stick, I really, it was like a really whoa moment, because you didn't expect it that early in the movie.
No, and you wouldn't really expect them to do something that, you know,
drastic.
Yeah, that was just great. You know, they were just talking to Thanos, and then out of nowhere, it decapitates them with Stormbreaker. And I thought that was sweet. I mean, it was unexpected, so that's
his Kappa was detated.
Oh, so
Michael Scott.
Huh? We can talk about it.
Oh, it's been out way too movie of all time. At this point, you know, if you haven't seen it, you kind of deserve to be spoiled.
Yeah, it's been out. It's been re-released. People wanted to see it. They should have already.
Yeah. What's my favorite video game of the year so far? Mortal Kombat 11. That's my game of the year so far.
Are you looking forward to the new Star Wars game?
Definitely. Really, really looking forward to that. Looking forward to Borderlands. I think Mortal Kombat will stay in my top 10, but I don't know that, or top 5 I should say, but I don't know if it'll be my game. If it's my game of the year, that's fine. It's still a great year for games, but I just think that Borderlands will probably end up being my game of the year if it's like, you know, basically the same thing as the others.
I'm excited for Borderlands because I've been anticipating that announcement for years. When it finally happened, when the trailer dropped, I didn't even know about it first. I was actually on Xbox. I was playing, I think, Rainbow Six Siege with my friends, and then my friend joined the party and said, "Hey, did you guys see the Borderlands 3 trailer?" And I was like, "What?"
You know what's funny is they did that at PAX East, and I was streaming at the Elgato like streaming booth when they announced it. And
oh right, you were there.
Yeah. So I was like so mad because like I didn't realize it was gonna happen until I actually had already booked that spot. So like
Right.
I could have been in the room watching it, and so all of a sudden all these people are walking down the escalator, and they all have psycho bandit masks, and yeah, it's happening, Squid. My most anticipated Phase 4 project. I'd love to say Thor, Love, and whatever, but that's my like least favorite storyline.
Jane Foster as Thor. God.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say the next one. Honestly, Black Widow looks like it'll be good. I'm really looking. Yeah, Doctor Strange sounds interesting. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped.
You and I have the same opinion on Jane Foster's Thor.
You know, I'm fine with her being like, you know, a strong female character, but I just don't like Thor is his name. It's not a mantle. So
Right. She is the power of Thor, but she is not Thor.
exactly, it's really not that complicated. You know?
If they called her something else, I think it would be fine.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They finally actually fixed her because in the comics, she's the new Valkyrie.
Oh, I
And-
didn't know that.
Yeah, it just happened, and like Brunhild, you know, dies, and she's basically taking over. So I feel like that's really the best way to handle it, but I think they're going backwards. And it's cheap too, because it's like they have so little respect for people. Oh no, I'm dead. They have so little respect for people that they can't. They think that they have to make her Thor in order for people to care. Ignoring our boy Nova? Not necessarily. I think he will be in Phase 5 with Guardians and stuff like that. So I'm patient.
I think it would make a lot of sense for them to introduce Nova in Guardians 3.
Who is they?
I think it would be the best way to do it. Is to have him in Guardians 3 or, you know, shuffle the deck a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys,
Hey, what's happening?
not much.
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen?
Living the dream.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we got Johnny Rocker in here too. Sweet.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All at the
sir.
same
How
time.
we doing?
You know, sorry, didn't work out for your stream earlier.
That's all right. I just I finally got maintenance ran out of my apartment, so we just fired it back up. So
Yeah.
so I was kind of scrambling trying to get in Discord and get everything going at one time.
If somebody told me that they spent like 4 hours trying to book hotels, I would never ever believe them until today. Cause like
Yeah, man.
we literally sat here at my computer, like it was probably 9 a.m. when we started, and before we realized it was like 11:30 and we were both starving, and because neither of us had breakfast.
Wait.
So we finally we just couldn't decide on hotels, and San Francisco is like a really hard city to book for, man. Like we didn't want to get a really expensive hotel. We just wanted something where we could sleep and do whatever. And mostly we're going to be renting a car, so we just wanted to be able to have a place to park. And like literally every hotel in San Francisco says the same thing. Like no parking and homeless people everywhere. So
Yeah.
Right.
it's happening, Venetius. Came to say
It's
hello.
pretty much a standard feature for San Francisco anymore.
Seriously. So, like, it seemed like every hotel that we looked at had like 25 rooms and 6 parking spaces. So,
It's crazy.
but we ended up finding one that it's not perfect, but we were trying to keep it under 200 a night. So, but it's fine. It should be fine.
200 a night is like math to try to do, unless it's like really nice or anniversary.
Well, the thing is that like we've had really good luck booking hotels other places. Like last year, we went to Pittsburgh, then Cincinnati, then Nashville, and all of our hotels were really nice, and like about 150 a night, if not less. So like these hotels we were looking at were not necessarily that awful, but I don't know. We just don't know anything about where we're going, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like we're relying on reviews, and you know, I've been in the industry for a long time that I know not to take certain reviews very seriously. Like you can tell the reviews that are just like
Butt hurt.
yeah, exactly. So I don't really take those very seriously. I also don't 10 out of 10 I don't even read. I don't take those seriously either. Like like for our reviews, the company I worked for, we basically ignored any review that was like above an 8. Like the only ones we focused on were like the 5, 6, and 7. Like because we felt like those were the ones where there was like a little bit of everything. So like I've kind of like grown to do that, and like you can tell like on like hotels.com a 6 out of 10 review that is like, look, you're getting what you pay for, and like you can tell that's like the type of person I want to listen to. Like I'm fine with a 6 out of 10 hotel because like we just want to store our stuff there and
Sleep there.
go places. Yeah, like I sleep like crap in a $5,000 bed or $100 bed. It doesn't matter. So.
Dude, Jay, what's the kid doing right now?
What's the kid doing right now?
He's still
All right.
trash.
How about that? Is that better?
I can hear you. Is he still trash? We went to see Spider-Man together, but I haven't seen him much. I know he. I don't know if he's working right now. Like he had saved up some money pretty well, and I know he was doing like he was working as a postal worker for a little bit, but he didn't like it. So. Yeah,
You saw Spider-Man Far From Home together?
Yeah, he's one of my like 2 like main movie going people. Like I pretty much every movie I see is with him. I love telling him that like, oh man, that dude's still calling you trash. He's like, he gets so funny. Like we're talking about my friend Mike. His Xbox name is Yid Vicious, and we had like there's this group of people that I've known that we play games together with for like a very long time, and we used to do this thing where they'd all fly in from all over the country, and we would do like this big gamer weekend thing, and I was streaming, I think we were playing Madden, and I think I said something, oh, everybody just say that Yid's trash, and Archer was watching at that moment. And like it's just this thing like, oh, is Yid still trash? So.
And it's been an ongoing thing for like a couple of years.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. He's honestly like I do not understand why he has not started a Twitch stream or a YouTube channel yet, because he is like one of the funniest people I know. Like just an absolute riot, and I think he's so good.
Isn't he like really tall?
Yeah, he's like 6'11" or something like that.
Jesus.
6 something, yeah. He's very
And
tall.
you're what, like 5'8" or
Yeah,
something?
I'm like 5'8". I'm not tall.
Damn, I'm 6'4". I thought that was tall. 6'11". God.
The kid I went to high school with was 7'6".
Is this the dude that played Ultron in
Yes.
Age of Ultron?
Yeah, he was the body actor for Ultron and the giant guy in Game of Thrones.
Didn't he pass away recently?
Yeah, he did. But he was McDonald's All-American senior year. Went to North Carolina on a basketball scholarship. Busted his back his freshman year and decided to transfer back up here to Holy Cross. And I know he went to NBA camp with the Hornets, but I don't think he didn't really do a whole lot. He played like in some European like pro leagues, but Then he got into acting. But yeah, he sat in front of me in study hall in high school, and my God, he was just such a huge human being. Nice guy, actually, very nice guy.
This is an official shield up.
We're getting Jane Thor, but no Beta Ray Bill. I mean, you don't know that we're not getting Beta Ray Bill. We could still get him. Which Crystal wasn't the only Inhuman playable. I mean, I think Black Bolt and Medusa will be playable soon. They've already data mined her. Alright, yeah, that's one of the ones we needed. Oh my gosh, level 61.
That does not look like
Yeah, I was kind of hoping the costumes in this game was going to be more similar to like Ultimate Alliance 1, where it was actual costume changes and not just color reskins.
I think they will be eventually. I don't know. I don't know if they got behind and they just couldn't include that in launch, but... Very burpy today.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like Marvel was pretty intent, I think, on keeping Nintendo on track, because this was the perfect summertime release. Like with the movies and the announcements that they were making. So I feel like that's give the game a lot of traction.
Am I the only one who's not excited for Phase 4 at all?
I am. I mean, I'm always going to be excited. What's happening? Send Steamy Memes. That's a interesting name.
It's just weird they put up that lineup without Guardians 3 on it or Black Panther 2 or like. So they said at the end, like,
They're working
on Phase 5.
No, there's no way they're waiting for Black Panther for Phase 5. They're not.
Well, it's only a 2-year phase.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool.
Which is fine. I mean, it's just the transition period. Why can I just Johnny, just keep going. It'll teleport us.
Yeah, I'll pull you forward.
Yeah,
What is happening?
We're all
Laser
struggling.
beams are the bane of my existence.
Yeah, like we are just struggling. Yeah, so I mean, I'm fine with it. Like, honestly, I think it's all gonna be good. They haven't done wrong by me yet, so they'll probably hopefully find a way to make me okay with whatever they're gonna do with the 4 movie.
And we already knew that Guardians 3 was being worked on.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
you gotta keep in mind James Gunn is also working on the Suicide Squad. He's gonna finish that first.
Yeah. I'm glad everything that happened to him did, because he kind of was running his mouth a lot, and I don't know. I just don't.
Politics.
I don't like hypocrisy. I don't really want to get into like what people believe in or any of that. That I could care less about. I just really can't stand people that are hypocrites and like will do one thing and not another. And I feel like I don't remember who it was, but I feel like he went after Ben Shapiro really hard for the same thing that he did.
Right.
So that, I think, was why I was like, all right, you kind of do deserve it. Like, I don't really take what he said seriously, but anyway. Who's the first characters you unlock in the game? The Guardians of the Galaxy. I do actually kind of like Ben Shapiro. I don't like... It's the same thing with everybody. Like, I don't agree with everything that everybody says, but, like, I do agree with some of the things that he says, and, there are things that I really disagree with him on. But, like, I mean, the same thing with, everybody. Like, honestly, like, if I had to, like, pick somebody now that I'm going to vote for as far as president, it's probably going to be Pete Buttigieg. Like, so far, he's the one that I like the most. But, like, I consider myself independent, I did not vote for president last election. I voted, I did not vote for president, though. Because I did not like either one of them. I actually hated both of them.
Well, we ended up with the two worst possible choices in the end.
Yeah, well, so like, and I'll admit that like with Hillary, it's very personal. My father was in the Marines, and when Bill was president, he was a gunnery sergeant, and he was actually even up for master sergeant, and he was at 17 years in, and Bill was trying to find ways to save money, and messing with people's pensions. And they made him run a mile, and his knees were shot, and he passed every aspect of the physical test except he could not run the mile in the right amount of time, like in the recommended or whatever. So they honorably discharged him, because once you hit 17 years in the military, or 19 years in the military, they cannot medically discharge you until you're after 20. You're owed your pension, because you hit pension at 20. So he was denied his 20-year pension. It's happening seriously. And
your dad was?
Yeah, and he blames Clinton for that. Because he was an instructor at that point in his career, you know? Like, there's no reason for him to run a mile. And he was an air traffic controller, so, he spent like 10 years as an air traffic controller, and then his last year or two as an instructor for air traffic controllers. So, like, who cares if he can run a mile, you know? Like, he's not going anywhere. So obviously that happened when I was like 12. So I lived my whole life with him like cursing Bill Clinton's name and hating Hillary Clinton. So yeah, it was definitely programmed into me. There's no way I was voting for her.
And then Trump is just Trump.
Yeah, he's garbage. I'm not gonna lie, like I was intrigued to see what he could maybe do. And I think his mouth just gets him in the most trouble. Like, he has no tact, and he's like, I said I wasn't going to get political, but, like, I just feel like there are some things that he's done and ideas that he has that I don't necessarily hate, per se, but I think he's just a really bad person, and he definitely does not, Like, I don't feel like the President of the United States should ever say anything negative about another city in America, regardless of how true it may be. Like the Baltimore thing. Like, you shouldn't be, like, disparaging one of your own cities that way. Like, I wasn't necessarily a big Obama fan, but I really respected, like, him as a person. Like, I felt like he was compassionate, and I don't think there's a compassionate bone in Trump's body.
Oh no, he has no sense of civility, and he just does not know when to be quiet. And his Twitter is ridiculous.
Yeah,
this is my problem with like politics, though, is that when you aren't independent, you have to agree with the radical side of
for sure,
of whatever you're taking a stance on. And like, to me, like, I'll never understand people who are radically can support someone one way or the other, and it's like I just choose not to engage in it, because I cannot believe that someone could stand by comments on one side or the other sometimes.
Right. No, I feel that completely. Yeah, I think like everybody has turned so extreme. Like, it's not one thing to like be Republican or Democrat. You have to be like all the way on one side. And I think that's the part that I really like hate most. Like, I probably lean more liberal than for anything, but like then I see like the Antifa fools and just how the meltdowns they have, and like I can't get behind that, you know.
Kind of putting a weird twist on it, but like being a musician, it kind of reminded me of like the metal scene in the late 90s, like early 2000s.
In the Bush days.
Like yeah, it's like, everybody got so just crazy political, and, like bands were just lining up on like one side or the other, and it was, sometimes it's hard to just kind of divorce that opinion, just, and appreciate the art, you know?
Well, I know that I know Unearth and God Forbid and I want to say Lamb of God all wrote songs about Bush.
Right. What was the Unearthed tune? I remember The Great Divider. Wasn't that it?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. It's all about that alarm clock riff, man.
Pretty sure Anti-Hero was Bush.
Simply amazing. But there are
By
more
God Forbid.
twists and turns.
That's like one of my favorite songs.
Oh, yeah, man.
What's one of your
That's
favorite
why,
songs?
you know, especially being a God Forbid fan, it's cool seeing Doc Coyle have all the success
Oh yeah.
that he's getting now. 'Cause that, I mean, he, out of everybody I've ever met in rock and roll, he was one of the absolute nicest dudes.
I didn't really know him that well. I mean, I
He's
think,
super cool, man.
yeah, he was always nice to me. Like, if he saw me, I think he recognized me, but I didn't really know him too well. Oh, the song we're talking about was a band called God Forbid called Anti-Hero.
Mhm.
And, yeah, such a good song.
Being a guitar player, man, the guitar tones on that album, that was like one of those things. So when everybody was making the switch to like the Line 6 Helix, you know, like starting to go digital and stuff, and I just remember trying desperately to dial that tone in, like on the rig that I had at the time. So good.
Jay, aren't you a Seven Dust fan?
Oh yeah, it's my favorite band ever. Seen them 30 times.
Heck yeah, man.
Some of the nicest people you will ever meet.
Absolutely.
Excuse me, I burped again. Yeah, 2016 had awful candidates.
Kids, well, friends here.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, whatever.
Allow me.
It is what it is.
Jay, did you see someone in Discord just posted about Nova, Winter Soldier, Ant-Man, and War Machine?
You guys, wait. Something's not right here. The mist. Is any of this real?
Whatever's happening, alternate costumes, we can beat it. All keep fighting. Heroes, then DLC. Full edition, all DLC will be added as Nova, Vision, Ant-Man. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's Joel.
Nice.
Joel was playing with us last night.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'd be all about some War Machine.
Yeah,
He was a lot of fun in Marvel Heroes and everything.
Oh yeah, man. That was just what I was about to say. I loved Iron Man, but he was always so underpowered. And you'd switch to War Machine and just melt stuff.
I was actually going back to kind of musical stuff. You know, obviously living in Boston was huge during that time frame because we had so many good bands. And I would say like the band I was closest with was probably Shadows Fall. Like Brian, I knew Brian really well. Like compared to like all, like not like we're like best friends or anything, but I mean,
Right.
I saw like basically every band he was ever in, and there were times where like he had a band called Transient where he played drums, and I went to their first show, and it was like basically just me, him, and his girlfriend at the time, and like a bunch of like people that were there because it was a bar. So we basically hung out like the whole night after the show was over, and like I don't know. I actually met him before I even realized he was in Shadows Fall, because I was doing college radio at the time, and he actually worked with his girlfriend at the time, and on a PR company, and I was talking to her at the bar at Maine Metal and Hardcore Festival, and I had just actually bought Shadows Fall. I forget what it's. I think it's Of One Blood is the name of that album.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like the Japanese version, and it had like one of their EPs on it as well. And I think I bought like God Forbid's album, and like I bought like 4 albums, like Soilwork and something else. And we were just hanging out at the bar, and she was like, "Oh, what CDs did you get?" So I just kind of handed her. There's like 5 CDs in my hand. And she's like, "Oh, this is Brian's band." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm the singer of Shadows Fall." I'm like, "Shut up." And like Overcast was playing, like they were like the big headliner.
Oh yeah.
It was like an Overcast reunion. So I'm like, dude, oh my god, that's crazy. I didn't even realize it. So like I think there was always like that appreciation that like I just, you know, we were just, when we met, it was just because like, I don't know, we were just metal dudes talking there. What's happened to Wes Gaming? So yeah, sorry if people aren't interested in my metal talk, but like I've got so many stories from over the years. Before I did this, I did like a lot of concert photography. So I've met.
Well, that's actually how you and I started talking. Was, you know, I mean, like I was a fan of like your gaming videos and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember we started talking on Twitter, and it's like, wait a minute, we know a lot of the same people at the same time.
We ran in the same circles.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that was my thing. The band, you know, I was in at the time, we were based out of Bristol, Tennessee, but, you know, the New England metal scene was absolutely where it was. So, I mean, I was super tuned into all those bands. So it was, you know, any tour we could jump on it, you know, that was going north. I mean, we literally took everything, you know. And, you know, like where a lot of bands where, you know, I would have played the, you know, the Rainbow in Los Angeles. For me, it was Toad's Place. It's like, man, they do hardcore shows and there's no barrier and it's awesome. You know, so I was all about it, man.
I have not been to that many shows at Toad's Place, believe it or not, because they're like just out of my range. And like anything that goes to Toad's is usually going to go to the Palladium. Mm-hmm. So like the Palladium is kind of like the center of New England metal for the most part. So like I did see Seven Dust there. And like I actually sat in the balcony that night because they had that cool balcony that it's like just a small area. What's happening, Joseph? Any current metal bands people should look at? Honestly, I'm so out of it. I really don't listen to music as much as I used to. So and when I was in the scene, like doing more, I always used to say, "Oh, I wonder how people like just listening to old music all the time." But now I understand. But like I'm stoked for the new Kill Switch. I already pre-ordered it.
I tell you, a great band. They're flying under a lot of radars right now, and they really shouldn't be. It's actually Max Cavalera from Sepultura and Soulfly.
Oh, yeah?
It's his son Richie's band. They're called Insight.
Oh,
And I think you would maybe compare them. They kind of sound like Omerta era Lamb of God, but I mean Richie's got this voice. It's like he's very old school in there's no effects on his vocals, and I mean it just sounds like he can peel paint off walls.
I love Sepultura.
It's really good.
Love Sepultura and Soulfly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the last Cavalera Conspiracy album. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Earlier on my stream today, I was talking metal, and I'm actually working on a cover of Roots. Like, it's not really for anything in particular. I'm just, gonna put it up on Twitter and put it out. But we had a lot of Sepultura love going earlier. It made me feel good, man.
You know, it's funny. When I was living in Florida, I lived in Jacksonville for 2 years, and there was like a big kind of come up for like Southern style hardcore, and that type of thing. More like the Christian bands and stuff like that. And like a lot of my favorite bands around that time were also like North Carolina bands, Beloved, Between the Buried and Me, and Between the Buried and Me isn't really Southern, but like they're from the same area. But Beloved, Hope's Fall, Between the Buried and Me, and then Under Oath's original singer Dallas, he left the band. I loved Under Oath when Dallas was in the band, and then he left and they got like super popular. But he started a band called Maylene and the Sons of Disaster.
Yep, and I've seen them a couple times.
Yeah, me too. Freaking loved them. And then there was a band from Murfreesboro, Tennessee called The Showdown.
The Showdown. Those are it's so crazy you said that, because I was just about to mention the two bands that we toured with so much in that era were The Showdown out of Elizabethton and Sanctity out of Asheville, North Carolina, which Jared from Sanctity is actually now in Machine Head. So.
Oh, Jared McEachran?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jared.
Yeah, Jared.
So Machine
check
Head.
Out his.
I knew Machine Head very well.
Yep. Check out Jared's old band. It's called Sanctity. I mean,
were they on Roadrunner too?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God! They have like Road to Nowhere or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And
freaking love that song. I didn't know he was in that band. So
yeah, man, he was the singer guitar player for that band.
I don't know that I've met Jared yet. I used to know Phil very well because I posted on Machine Head's message board for so long.
You're the
and
only
like,
one up, Jay.
I'm sorry? Oh gosh, I'm the only one left.
Yep.
We might go down. I don't know if I can
I was
revive.
flapping my gums too much. It wasn't
No,
doing
it's
anything.
cool. I'm just reviving. Oh, come on. Trying to revive the first person I can. Why isn't it reviving? Alright. I'm gonna... Sorry, we're just trying to get, like... I'm just the people that I'm next to.
No worries, man.
Anyway, so I've gotten to know Machine Head a lot over the years. Rob and definitely like. I mean, I know that they're not very happy with Rob at the moment, but I think Jared's still in the band though, right?
Yeah, and see, and I hate that, you know, like when you look on like Blabbermouth and all that, anytime people talk about Machine Head, Jared gets so much hate because people just want to see Adam Deuce back.
Adam,
you know,
Adam was the one that was always kind of like distant, and he wasn't. I don't say he was mean to me or anything, like, but he was just kind of like whatever. Like I was never. Right. I've probably seen Machine Head like 15 times, and one of my top 10 favorite bands, probably top 5. I don't even know why I neglected to mention them, but yeah, one year my dad had just been in Philadelphia at a Phillies game, and gosh, what's his name? The guitarist. Why am I blanking? Phil DeMel. He's a Phillies fan. And my dad had gotten Ryan Howard T-shirt signed by him, and like gave it to me, even though I told him I didn't want it signed, because he was there on like some corporate event thing, and so I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, so I ended up giving it to him. So
that's cool, man.
I actually went to their. I actually have videos on my channel from their record release party. For Through the Ashes of Empires, I want to say. Yeah, so they had a record release party in New York City at Paul Booth's tattoo studio, and I was invited, so I drove down to that. My brother actually came with me, and it was pretty cool. So
yeah, the Showdown, man, they were a very underrated band. I would say probably the crowning jewel of, you know, Project Downfall's, you know, thing was there's a festival in Tennessee called Rocking on the River. That, you know, it's not Bonnaroo size, but, you know, it's maybe like 5 to 10,000 people. We co-headlined that in 2006 with Showdown.
Nice.
And super, super good time. But that was shortly kind of before the wheels fell off for them. Like they had just come off Ozfest. You know, everything was going great. They just released, I believe it was the Blood in the Gears album.
That song was pretty cool. The concept album they did on Greek mythology is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah, dude, the song Backbreaker. That's my all-time favorite Showdown jam.
Yeah, but one of their songs was my ringtone for the longest time. I'm blanking on. I'm almost about to go down. I'm blanking on song titles at the moment, but.
But that basically, that was our local scene. It was like Showdown. It was a band called Eternal Chaos that should have been way bigger than what they were. Imagine like that Pantera groovy kind of sound, but almost with like a touch of black metal. Like they had keys and it was very like atmospheric. They were phenomenal. There was a band called Omega Tribe. We played a lot with in that area. But you know, shortly after that, though, that was when I think it's 3 members of the Showdown left and joined Demon Hunter. And actually, the couple of the guys are still with Demon Hunter.
Really?
So, yep.
I did not know that. My brother is like such a massive Demon Hunter fan.
Yep. Yeah, I believe it's the guitar player and the bassist are still with Demon Hunter. So.
Didn't the Showdown have 3 guitarists though?
At one point, I think it was like the original guy, left and joined another band, and they brought in 2 new guys, and then I think he came back for just a touch. I believe that was actually right before Blood in the Gears came out.
I freaking love A Monument Encased in Ash. That song rips the guitar, the intro.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be like, oh man, this is my WWE entrance song.
Nice, that's what's up.
Dun 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 dun. Can't do it. I can't do it.
I completely missed that. But that wall is dead.
Oh man.
Yeah, man, that brings back the memories, dude. And that's what's kind of cool about, I moved to Cleveland, Ohio now, and like I've kind of been reconnecting with Mark Hunter from Chimera.
Yeah.
Like our first major tour was on their big, 2004 tour, and they were taking over everything. So, it's kind of cool reconnecting with Mark and like the Ringworm guys, and and like the Cleveland scene's still trying. Like there's still some pretty good local shows, but I think it's really going to start to come back around here in the next year or two.
Mark IM'd me once after a show because I had a picture that he did not love. And he was like, dude, I really appreciate it. And like the pictures are great, but if at all possible, I kind of look like an asshole in this one. I'm like, dude, no problem. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have posted it.
Right. Yeah, he was cool. Like Mark was one of those guys. You either got him, or you just didn't.
Yeah.
Mark speaks his mind. He doesn't, he doesn't pussyfoot around anybody. And it's kind of like if you started out on his good side, you were fine. But
the first time I ever met him, and I apologize to Remy and Archer. We're like kind of dominating here.
That's okay.
The first time I ever met Mark. It was the day after Ozfest. They were on tour with El Nino, 40 Below Summer, and I want to say like Flaw. But they were on like this crazy tour the day after Ozfest, and we only went because if you showed your Ozfest ticket, it was free.
Sorry, gang.
And it was at Bill's Bar in Boston, which was right across the street from Fenway Park. Like literally, you could see the Green Monster from Bill's Bar. So like I was aware of who all these bands were. I wasn't necessarily a fan yet, but I liked them, and I became fans after that show because it was like one of the cooler shows I ever went to. But I met Mark like literally when we got to the club. He was just sitting outside in front of their van, and he was wearing a Yankees jersey. And I didn't realize it was him at the time, but I was like, man, you're not gonna make any friends that way. I just remember. No, I mean that's like legit what I said.
Awesome.
And then we just got into a conversation, and I realized who he was. I'm like, oh yeah. I've been listening to some of your stuff. You're good. How long's the stream? I don't know until I get a little bored. We're at about an hour now, so probably get a little bit further.
Along,
I'm sorry.
I said we're moving right along.
Yeah.
So.
Someone wants with something. What advice do you need? We are all advice givers. I would say we are all experts in this game, except Archer.
With my face.
I don't know if Archer even heard that, but anyway, yeah.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
I thought like we were vibing.
Yes.
What level would you recommend my heroes be at to start superior mode? You probably want to get most of them at least to 55. Like if you have one character that's like really, really powerful, like if you had like, I don't know, Deadpool or someone at like, I don't even care if we fight people here. If you had somebody that's like really high, like in the 70s or so, and then a couple like high 40s, you could probably pull it off. Because Superior starts at 40, I think. But yeah, you definitely want some higher ranked people.
Yeah, we got a goodie box up here. Can you grab it?
Do I still play Mortal Kombat 11? Sort of. I don't like play it every day, but like when the DLC comes out, I definitely get in on it. I love it. It's just I've done mostly everything that there is to do right now. So I'm just waiting for some newer content. So like Nightwolf and Sindel and Spawn and probably I think Ash will be out soon. So.
Huh. Guess my source was right.
Yeah,
My
those were the
path was
glory
quicker
days.
and easier than yours.
For sure.
You've got 260 Cap Marvel and Magneto and 250 Scarlet Witch and Thor. Yeah, you should be pretty good to get going. And they'll level up as you go.
Yeah, I found for me it seems like the rule of thumb I've used is just try to have one or two of your characters about 20 to 25 levels above what it recommends. And you're pretty
Keep the
golden.
mystery in our relationship alive somehow, babe.
Oh. I think that these hand people are my least favorite people. What happened? Did everybody else go black screen or is it just me?
Nope,
Yeah,
I went
black
black
screen.
screen too.
Uh-oh, I think it like dropped.
See what happened here.
We'll fire it back up if we have to. There's not a cutscene here, is there? Or somebody might have advanced far enough for it. I just want to get that rift behind that house.
Oh,
No, we're good.
That was weird.
Yeah.
I think this level, the hand ninjas, are the ones that drive me the most insane.
Get inside and meet up with the defenders. They'll help you.
For
All
me,
the
it's
bombs.
the purple snipers and
Oh, yeah, those two. What's happening,
Oh
Brian
my
Brazel?
God.
Yeah, the purple
Dark Dimension's the most annoying to me.
But like every single one of these guys lands and like launches like 17,000 freaking grenades. Thank you for picking up that rift.
That's the one that everyone recommends to
farm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's pretty good. I took like a level 30 spider going in there, and she went up 4 levels in one run.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That is good to know, my friend.
No worries, Archer. Thanks for popping in. I will say that I've like as much as I complain and cry about you know how this game is on single player, like it is just such a different game on co-op. Like I mean I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Like a lot of people are like, oh, it gets repetitive. I'm like, yeah, sure, but like, you know, I like just mashing the buttons. You know, like sometimes you just want a mindless game that you can like have fun mashing some buttons on, right? And it's just the Marvel part of it, you know? Yeah, those purple snipers, I don't even know how I neglected them. I don't know why I used that.
Alright, you can burn them down.
Get it back fast. It's almost level 100.
Nice.
I really thought about keeping all my characters level 99 so that when Gambit gets released, he could be my first level 100. I accidentally got down to 100, so now it's level 100.
I think obviously Deadpool will be my second 100 and Thor will be my third. I think Magneto will end up being my fourth.
He's so good in this game.
Yeah, I used, like, from what we played last night, I used all of my XP that we earned, and I took them from, like, 54 to, like, 67.
Yeah, he's really good. His heavy attack is just so overpowered, it's
I
insane.
searched the whole room and there are no other doors. Unless we find a way to open this gate, our journey ends here. I recognize this. It's the Azure Dragon of the East. And who can forget
Oh,
the
nice.
good
Johnny's
black turtle of
streaming
the
as well,
north?
obviously. I don't know why I assumed otherwise. Hello, Johnny's
Oh, that's
people.
all good. Yes, sir. Yeah, I had to shut my stream down earlier. We had like a little maintenance issue here in the apartment. And right about the time you texted me, let's go, the maintenance guy was like, well, I can't really do any more today. So I just kind of ran over here to the PC and started trying to fire everything up on the go. So
I know how that goes. What's happening, Moonhorn? Haven't watched me in a while. Well, welcome back. I appreciate you checking in, and you know, awesome. Love it. I miss those Marvel Heroes shoes, man. Like, it was so easy to organize, and like I could have people drop in and drop out. I felt like everybody was happy. Here, it feels like a freaking chore just to get different people in, you know? Like when we started like 2 seconds before like Remy tried to join, like it was like brain surgery just to get him in. No offense, man. Like I'm just saying, like I'm blaming the game, not you.
yeah, Marvel Heroes was actually the very first game that I ever did, my first test stream ever.
Nice.
So
my
absolutely
first
love that game.
My first videos on my channel were Battlefield Bad Company 2.
I did a lot of that too.
Yeah, that was probably that's my favorite multiplayer game of all time. I think just think of where I was in life for that game, and like all the people that I met. Like I just loved that summer. Was just amazing. Like that was like my summer where I felt like I was a college student, even though I was very far removed from college. Because I didn't work that summer, and I'd worked basically since I was 14. So like, it was just so cool to like sit and play that all summer. And then at the end of that summer, I started with those. But yeah, I played pretty highly competitive. Like that was back in the game battles days,
right?
And game battles like was pretty much, they didn't do MLG for Battlefield. They did game battles, and like all the best people were there, and they did like a Battlefield World Cup where they put together like teams from each country, and I somehow ended up in the championship game with Team USA.
Nice.
And I actually have that video. I did not belong in that game. I was definitely not one of the best people. But like something came up, and I just happened to be online and could stream it, or record it, I should say. And they needed one more person, and they chose me because I, was able to record it.
That's awesome.
So,
how'd you play in it?
I wasn't the worst person. I think I was like mid tier for our team.
Room for one more.
So, but a lot of those guys that played in it ended up. I don't know if you guys remember, right when Xbox One came out, they did the Battlefield 4 Invitational or something like that, and they had it was Team USA versus Europe, and it was in London. And they flew in like all the US team and all the European team, and they played each other on Xbox One at Battlefield 4 before Battlefield 4 was even out. And like 2 of my like good friends, or 3 of my good friends, played in that. And it was like Major Nelson's team versus AC Bongos.
I don't know if I've ever seen you play a first-person shooter.
I have lots of videos, believe it or not. I'm not nearly as good as I don't think I was ever great per se, but like with Battlefield, what I loved the most about it was tanking, and I was pretty good at tanking. If Scroll Girl was in the game and you had to use her a lot, how would I react? I would just bitch about it the whole time. That's how I would react. How I react in every game I have to play as Scroll Girl. I just cry about it the whole time.
I think my favorite thing about Squirrel Girl in that game is when she would do like the Army of Squirrels power, and then it just looked like they bounced off things and died.
Yeah.
It's like it was horrific.
She's genocidal. I've established that on many occasions. There's no reason why Squirrel Girl should be a role model to everybody. She's basically PETA's worst nightmare. And not, I mean, PETA is also PETA's worst nightmare by their own definition, but you know, she is certainly equally vile and awful. Millions of squirrels have died because of her.
She's a menace.
And she should be stopped.
Yeah,
it's not Mysterious Moon, that is not canon.
Yeah, tying it back to rock and roll, I think those are some of my favorite. Now, I can specifically remember a show in Winston-Salem, North Carolina with Enza and Bleeding Through. And we had the buses behind the building with the Ethernet cables stretched across, and Halo 3 on Xbox 360.
Brandon from Bleeding Through is always nice to me.
Yep.
He's a good guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they were one of those bands, man. They should have been bigger than what they were.
Yeah.
I know.
I read a really interesting interview with him semi-recently about how there was some bitterness and stuff, and how I don't think he mentally handled it as well as he wanted to. But man, that the album that had Love, Lost, and a Gale, I can't think of the name of the
And a
song.
Hail of Gunfire?
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
That's the one that has like, what's happening, Cuffs? That's the one that has like the little part from Boondock Saints in one of the songs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it started the album, man. Yeah, it was awesome.
Love that album.
My Love is Murderous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that album. That had my favorite tune of theirs was called Revenge I Seek.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, it just starts out with this triplet riff, and it's just like circle pit, whole tune. But
we interviewed 18 Visions once, and James Hart was really nice. And I bought one of their albums on like pink vinyl or something like that, and I had him sign it, and I was wearing a Red Sox hat, and I still have it. It says maybe someday the Sox will win the World Series, and it's just funny now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially because I think he's a Cubs fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I like, man, that there was this one New England Metal Fest that it was just like such a monstrous show, and I don't think any show will ever be topped, because it was like first tour in the US for Soilwork and In Flames, and it was Shadows Fall and Killswitch Engage and Unearthed and 18 Visions and Throwdown, like OG
Throwdown. Oh man.
OG Throwdown before Dave was the singer, when Keith was the singer. And
wow, that's a band I'd forgotten about.
Yeah, because they like became very Pantera-y, but before that they were like the kings of straight edge hardcore.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that. We opened for Damage Plan on their last tour, and the guy that was basically like the DJ on the Rafters House System played that song Holy Roller by Throwdown, and I remember Vinny got kind of pissed, and he's like, "Why are you playing Dollar Store Pantera, bro? Like, people are here to see the genuine article, you know?"
Yeah, that's funny. Vinnie Paul, super nice to me. They played a local bazooka show here, and you know, I was working with a photographer named Jeremy Saffer, who's very renowned, and the stage that like, it was them and Damage Plan, Shadows Fall, Candiria, Clutch, and a bunch of bands like that. And All That Remains, Kitty, and I was just hanging out. Who else was there? Diecast. I loved that.
Diecast, yeah.
But you know, I saw, you know, Vinnie Paul, and I like taking pictures of drummers like while they're playing, and I walked up to Vinnie Paul and I'm like, "Hey man, is it okay if I like come up next to you while you're playing and shoot?" I'm one of the photographers for the show. And he goes, "Hell yeah, man! As long as you don't get my drum tech's way."
Sounds about right.
And I was wearing my I was wearing a Patriots hat, and I was like kind of looking at my phone. He's like, "You don't happen to have the Cowboys score on there, do you?" I don't know if I'm doing a good Vinny Paul voice, but it was typical Southern accent. And then I have a cool picture of Dimebag playing the guitar for the Shadows Fall guys. He was like playing their guitar and like talking to them and like talking to them about their guitars, stuff like that. It was like super cool.
Oh yeah, like that was at that show. That was when Dime had just switched to it was this company called Crank, and he had the Crank Warhead amps, and us and the other two opening acts were just kind of like oogling over that amp. You know, Dime was just like, "Hey brother, you guys want to play through this? All right, man, I'll hook you up." So it was like that was like the biggest honor ever, was we got to play through Dime's rig all night long. You know, just absolutely class act, dude, man.
What's happening, Impulse? The next Lego game is Lego Star Wars, and I do not believe it is going to be out until spring at the earliest.
How long are you streaming, Jay?
I'm not sure. Probably until I have to pee.
Far easier to just make an appointment.
I just got on because I had to go deal with some stuff.
I saw that that thing you put about a gold edition. All DLC will be added.
To understand.
And did you notice Nova as a listed character?
Oh yeah. Cannot wait.
Again, that's a rumor, but if this person happens to know more about that NY Toys thing, and they're producing toys for this game,
that'd be epic. I'll obviously get the Nova one.
Right. It also mentioned more. You know, we said Zero mentioned.
Yeah. I might do another stream tonight, and I'll try to like get some more people in. Because I know Cuffs, who I think might be watching, I know he's been trying to get in on a game. So, but yeah, I might stream again later.
Oh yeah, I'm not like trying to get in. I mean,
no, that's cool.
That's fine. I was just curious how long you're streaming.
Yeah, we've been going for about an hour 15, so maybe I'll get to Dormammu, and then we'll call it.
Oh, you're on Ultimate right now?
Yeah. We'll like play one more level, basically. See the Red Sox blew out the Yankees 2 nights ago. Yeah, would have been nice if they could have finished it off and got the sweep last night. But I'm like, I don't know. People are getting all worked up about the Sox because that's what we do. But this year is just a bonus. Whatever they can give us, they give us. I mean, we won the World Series last year. I'm not gonna like stress out, live pitch by pitch this year.
I'm back.
Oh, well, it's funny because like I can't see who's talking. I have to like lower my game screen in order to see it. So I keep hearing voices, and I'm like, I know the voice. I know the voice. There really needs to be an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. DLC for this game, Yorkshire Time Lord. Maybe I could see it.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to work tonight, Cuffs. We're gonna get you in here one of these times, man. Just like hit me up on Twitter, even if it's not on stream. I'll get in there. Need to put Yo-Yo in this game. That would be interesting. Yo-Yo has not made it into any game. There was an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. DLC in Lego Avengers.
So, what I missed?
Yeah, Yo-Yo. That'd be like, I don't really think her powers are that interesting to me, but no, we'll get through Avengers Tower, I guess, and then we'll call it a stream.
Why would you take Yo-Yo over Quicksilver?
Right.
Tests all check out.
Like,
These are definitely
just
the
a
real deal.
far more
Genuine
substantially
Infinity
well-known
Stones.
character
Jam-packed with
versus
endless
Dawn. I don't know. For me, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would be a really lame DLC pack if it wasn't, like, really far down the line.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., no doubt, but, like, I feel like its day has passed, and they're winding down. Sup, Jay, I'm leveling Venom, and he does really good stagger damage to bosses. I think Venom and Daredevil is a good pair for boss fights. Daredevil increases the damage of Venom, and Venom destroys stagger. Interesting.
I've been reading that Daredevil's like a very low tier character.
Really?
Yeah.
Radiant Novas is having the opposite, experience, it appears.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just been hearing that he's not immense.
We'll see.
I was kind of reading into what like tends to be the least
I cannot access the
enjoyed
tower's operating
characters,
system,
and
Iron Man. If our mainframe has been compromised,
also
we're no
Bloodstone
longer
tie
safe
up on
in
the
our
way.
home.
Interesting. I haven't used her enough.
I've seen a lot of people that
Glorious
like
it
her.
must be to be Tony Stark.
She's from my experience with her, and I just boosted her up to 100 today. She's got a couple too many attacks that like
We should be able to manually reboot the
they're
tower's
too
defenses
like
sector
they're
by
too
sector.
precise.
If we
You end
enter
up
the Avengers
mixing too
priority
often.
override
and
code
it
into
kind
these
of becomes
terminals.
a problem. at
User
that point,
override
because
protocol
you're
A57
wasting your
initiated.
energy
Since the iron drones are
potentially
linked to the lab's
because of how
mainframe,
precise these
this
attacks
should
are,
neutralize them.
and you're missing and you're doing no damage, and then it's just like, why would I use her over someone that I don't know. She can do a lot of damage if she hits, but she's very precise, which is very odd in a game like this. But
So Yorkshire, what I mean by its day is past is, it's like it's ending next season. So I don't think Fitz or Simmons would be very interesting at all.
I thought Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ended like 2 years ago. I'm not even there.
No, next year's their last season. Wonder Man would be cool.
well, that game like ate itself alive when it or that show ate itself alive when it decided to put in Ghost Rider and take him out.
Yeah, I thought Ghost Rider was actually pretty cool in the show.
But that's what I mean. It ate itself alive.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really outdo that at that point, unless they're being really creative. But
Yeah. There we go. Those things are way more complicated than they need to be.
Yeah, it really surprised me how well they did Ghost Rider. Like, I was kind of cringe when that got announced, but...
Is Jessica Jones in the game? Yeah, but she's not playable yet. I'm sure they'll add her in, like,
I hope she isn't. Yeah.
You would think Marvel might.
Knights. Yeah.
I think Jessica Jones would be a complete waste of time.
Yeah, she'd basically just be Luke Cage 2.0.
Yeah.
And maybe she can fly. How far are we in ultimate difficulty? Right here. This is how far we are in ultimate difficulty. Avengers Tower. And by the way, if I have to go backwards, I have no problem with that. Oh, thank you, whoever grabbed that. I don't even think I have it from... Where is that one?
You would be wise to follow.
I don't have that one from the first playthrough. Yeah, I agree. I think Season 4 is the best season, the one with Ghost Rider.
I like 2 a bit back in the day, but...
Yeah. Oh, I love to get Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I honestly have not really followed it ever since, I guess, Coulson, quote-unquote, died. So I don't know like what happened since then.
Yeah, I haven't really watched... I don't even know if I completed the first season.
I've fallen off TV in general. Like I used to watch the Netflix shows like the day they went up.
Yeah,
but I haven't even watched any of Jessica Jones yet. I dragged my feet on Punisher, and I think it was more because I just knew it didn't matter.
Yeah. After Defenders,
cancellations were all coming through. It kind of made it feel like you're wasting your time.
I watched Defenders, and then I haven't watched any season of any of those shows after that.
Yeah, it's kind of
terrible. Are those shows even canon, like, to the rest of the MCU at this point?
It's up for debate.
Supposedly?
I feel like after Mahershala Ali got announced as Blade, people are like, yeah, these shows are just not canon.
Yeah, but that can't be true because who's the lady that was
Alfre Woodard?
Yeah, she was in Civil War.
Luke Cage and Civil War.
And Luke Cage, so it's already been shown that they can use the same person twice.
Oh, yeah, she was like the woman who like confronted Tony about her son.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like,
And like they made references like to like the Battle of New York, like in Daredevil,
right.
and I think Luke Cage. But then they said that, but then like Kevin Feige said that like the snap of Infinity War had no effect on the shows, and I was like, that makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they should just keep everybody. I don't know if they're gonna have to recast anybody to use them again, but
That's what's weird to me is like those are, if you think of all the characters that they've used in the movies, like with Iron Man and Cap gone and some of the other characters contracts ending, like these are A-tier characters of what's left in Marvel.
Right.
And it's like they're kind of off the table right now.
Dark
I
Marvel,
feel-
I'm not a big anime person, unfortunately.
I feel like Daredevil and Punisher would, like, I'm fine with none of the other Defenders being in movies, but like those two I would love to see more of.
Yeah, I think if they could just bring them in like as kind of background people, like the others, and then like still focus on Punisher and Daredevil.
I just make Luke Cage like the Falcon to Daredevil's like Captain America type thing.
Yeah. Something like that. I really, Iron Fist, they really kind of, I know where they were going with it.
Man, that was so bad.
I don't think it was Finn Jones' fault though. Like, I think he was fine.
I think all the actors.
I thought the writing.
Because
I thought the writing was really bad.
He repeated his like "I am the so many times.
I thought
Yeah.
Electra was pretty in those shows.
I liked pretty much everybody they cast. Like, what's her name was a great Jessica Jones. I will definitely say that.
Oh,
Kristen
Yeah.
Ritter, yeah.
She was perfect.
She was.
And Charlie Cox. They
Yeah.
can't ever cast anybody else's Daredevil. Like, he nailed it.
What about John Bernthal as Frank Castle? That was pretty perfect.
Yeah, I really did. I thought he did really good.
Well, and I really like too that like the Punisher run of the comic that was going on at that time. They even started to draw him as John Barenthal.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
I did not realize he was in Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh yeah,
I love that. I love that movie.
That's
Yeah.
such a good flick.
I did not realize that was him. His character is pretty funny. I'm just gonna let Remy do this because he seems to know where to go.
Yeah.
Except now he's failing.
Sometime.
No, the other night you like nailed it.
I know. I got it this time too. I get sometimes I get
Trying to AOE some of the bots down.
Allegedly.
these guys off.
Very good.
We're in Avengers Tower. So yeah, I think once we finish the Ultron battle, I'm probably gonna jump off. My old man bladder is already yelling at me, but I think I can hold it.
Where's Becky right now?
Just hanging out upstairs watching TV. We spent enough time together today.
Being married, what's that like?
The same as it was before. Like, I don't know, we're both like very independent. I really feel like it's perfect because like
Same as it was before.
yeah, I mean we've lived together for like 2 years now, so it's like it's really no different.
No, it's not.
Except now I made her take my last name, but that's about it. That was a near brawl. But other than that, yeah, it's like I don't know. It's just the same. It's the same last name.
Could have been more interesting. You could have made her take shock blast.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
When I,
But, yeah,
when
like,
I first found your...
we, like, we talk about this often, like we are both very independent, so, like, she's not the clingy type, and neither am I. So, like, I don't know, we just are able, because it's hard for me, because she's a teacher, so she has the whole summer off, and I mentally am like, you know, hey, you do realize I have to work, and work is playing video games, so she's okay with it. We just make sure we have a couple shows that we watch together, and we make sure we do that stuff, and cook dinner and everything, and everything works out, so.
And some of these rifts later on, or trials, or whatever you want to call them, it's just really difficult offline.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that last rift is pretty tough by yourself.
One of the people I know from Marvel Heroes days just got all the stars for the last one.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm like working through that, but a lot of them are not easy to do solo.
Yeah. Well, I think we should be able to blow through most of this today or whatever, because I think I'll do another stream later tonight, like maybe around 8:30 or so.
I mean, I can run you through that thing pretty fast, to be honest, if you want a hand.
Yeah, like I'll jump on. I'll have people jump in with me.
Oh my god! That's what I'm talking about. These condon sniper or the aim sniper.
Ugh.
Just so annoying. The harder difficulty, they literally just they kill me.
Yeah, I just have to watch Big Brother with my wife, and from last night. That's one of our shows we watch.
Oh my god!
What is Big Brother?
It's like
They stay in the house.
yeah, they like have like 20 or 15 to 20 strangers from all over the country. They put them in one house where it's like cameras everywhere, and then each week they like there's a head of household. They have like competitions, like mental and physical competitions to be head of household, and they like vote people out one at a time week by week. It's kind of like Survivor.
Oh, okay.
But in a house.
Yeah.
It's crazy drama, yeah.
Yeah, it's total drama. And I never what's happening, Andrew Greeley? I never watched it until, she was looking to start a new season. She's like, "Hey, do you want to watch this with me?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll jump in." I don't know anything about Doctor Who, Yorkshire Time Lord. I apologize. Yeah, Mysterious Moon. It is interesting. I kind of get into it. There's a dude that's on the show right now that like literally looks like Jason Momoa, like the white Jason Momoa, like everybody calls him Aquaman.
Ultimo's a walking weapon of mass destruction.
Jay, you got to get Eric down for more.
Use him to level the entire city.
He doesn't want to do any of this stuff. Like I've fought with him for years over this. Wait, what are we doing? Oh, we're waiting for these guys to land. That's right. Getting 3 stars with this Captain America was actually tougher than I wanted to admit.
Yeah, once I realized which of his moves just pushed him off the edge.
Yeah.
Captain America is really underwhelming in this game for me.
Ooh, I just got a AA white isolate. It might be that team.
Oh man, that'd be dope. Oh, I got a C. White. Oh, I was not looking.
Yeah, that's double A. Wait,
One more.
Freaking,
Duplicate it. Find more.
not even duplicate it, but just even at this point, I'd be content with being able to farm it.
I have 3 of the blues now.
Yeah, same. I was 3 of the blue, but I want the white.
Thanks for clearing me a nice safe place
Mayday
to land,
Parker
by
and
the
Julia
way.
Carpenter in the game.
Jeez, that one is.
I got a
That
yellow
is
double
not-
A.
Mindstone and Ultimo both in
Wow,
play.
I'm so
I've
glad
determined a new
that
plan of
wasn't
attack.
anything to do with
I'll head to the rooftop
incapacitation, because
and
that would have
prepare
been
the
dumb
weaponry
for
required for the final battle. Meet me there at once.
Okay then. All right. 3-starred one that I was doing terrible on. Has anyone attempted the Wings of the Wasp solo?
I did it. I tried it once today and I died pretty much right away. And my Wasp is like a 65.
Who's my favorite female character? Probably Psylocke. I like Psylocke a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've played with quite a few people with leveled up Storm. It seems like she wrecks shop.
Yeah.
Get that ISO right.
I believe the kids these days are saying she slaps.
Slaps, bro.
Yeah. I do think it's all that word.
What difficulty should you try for your second run? I mean, honestly, there's really not a huge difference between Mighty and Superior. Like, I don't even think I played Mighty. I think I played Friendly and then I played Superior. It's like, I don't really notice much of a difference. What's happening, Waypoint?
What are you doing out there, Scott?
I'd probably say the difference is significant between the bottom one and Mighty, but yeah, Mighty and Superior are pretty similar. I think I deal damage for all of their still don't know how that
I may have found a pathway into Ultron's neural network.
Does that mean you can remotely lower Ultimo's defenses?
Affirmative. We may not be able to damage him physically, but we can disrupt Ultron's control signal.
Weapons adjusted to target Ultron's core program.
Red Ranger,
what stone does Ebony Maw have in this game?
Target Ultimo.
I did not even pay attention. Soul, maybe?
Soul Stone, I think? Yeah.
Soul would make sense for him.
I have rewritten my code. Your efforts were for nothing.
Ooh, blue double A.
Radiant Novus is Mind Stone, which also makes sense. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Are all these targets appearing for me because of Iron Man? Because I actually have not played much as Iron Man.
Yeah, it's Iron Man's missile barrage.
Gotcha.
It synergizes very well with just about anybody.
So lame. I mean, this is actually a useful ISO 8, but that's not what I was hoping to see. Energy point of generation.
Firewall has been breached.
You will not corrupt my system again, child. Surrender, and I will use
How similar, like, from Cleveland to, like, Cincinnati, I know it's not that far, but, like, are you guys, like, spaghetti chili people too?
See, I'm weird because I was born in North Carolina and raised up here. So it's like, I've kind of got this weird palate. But for me personally, I like Southern style chili. So it's just meat, beans, you know, that type of thing. But the whole Skyline chili thing is huge here.
Yeah, so we went there and it reminds me of like a Ron White joke.
Right.
Because he's like talking about Cincinnati. He's like, "Well, have you know that Cincinnati is the chili capital of the world?" He's like, you tell those Mexican boys there's even a contest.
That's right.
Because I'm pretty sure you give them a go, and they'll disagree.
Oh, it was definitely, you know, back in the day. Like I said, I grew up in Dayton, and like I was a part of like that metal scene, and it was always funny, like when we'd come down and play with like the late '90s Cincinnati metal bands, because they were a little early to that new metal groove, you know. So they're doing the the Lip Biscuit stuff, you know, and we sound like Cannibal Corpse and Obituary. So it was always some interesting shows that I just felt like we scared their fans to death. So,
have you heard of the Acacia stream?
Yes.
So I knew those guys pretty well. I'm actually friends with a few of them on Facebook. Well, they're old members. Whenever they played in Jacksonville, they would stay with me. And the first time that they stayed with me, I was driving them to my apartment, and we were going over the Matthews Bridge. And it was so funny because it sank in at that moment. I'm like, oh my God, John Otto, take him to the Matthews Bridge, because like Limp Bizkit is from Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they got a kick out of that. It was just pretty funny. They're good guys.
Yep.
Another band from around here.
I imagine you have some
Yeah, New England metal dominated there for about 7 or 8 years. It was like once Shadows Fall got signed and Killswitch, it was like everybody was getting snatched up.
Oh yeah.
And there I was stuck in Bristol, Tennessee, NASCAR Hill.
I was actually born in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina.
Oh, there you go.
There will be another attack to prevent. Far sooner than anticipated.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and bounce out. I certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, this is fun, and I think I will have another stream going tonight. So thank you everybody that joined, had fun, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks, guys.